Hey, welcome back. We are now working in Module 2, and this is the Getting Started with Word module. Now, we're in the first section, and I want to show you how to create a new blank document and get some text typed in, and then we can work with that text. So let me go ahead and I'm going to double click on Microsoft Word and show you what it looks like when you first open it up. Here we go inside of Word. I've just double clicked to open it, and this is the first screen that I get. What you'll notice is that on the left it will show you any recently used documents, but on the right is where you go to create your new document. So here's where you create a new blank one. Before we click on that, I want to mention that you've got these other templates that if you want to start with one of these, you could. Basically, a template is just a Word document that's already created, and you can type over it or edit it any way you like. So you'll notice there's a calendar here, for example. There is a cover letter for a resume. Here's a resume. Here's an event menu. You can see several different things, an invoice, for example, some thank you cards, a brochure. But if you don't like any of these and you want to start with a template, then just go to the web and just do a search for Microsoft Word templates and see if you can find one you like and just use that one. That's a lot easier sometimes than starting from scratch. But we're actually going to double click on the blank document and start ours from the very beginning. We're in a blank document now, and I want to go ahead and start typing here just to show you some things that Microsoft Word will do for you. One thing to keep in mind when you're typing is that this is not a typewriter. So when you're typing, wherever you see your insertion point, or you might call it the cursor blinking, the text will always come out to the left of that. When you're typing and you get all the way to the right margin, don't hit the Enter key. Just let the text wrap to the next line automatically. If you wanted to move to the next line, that's when you'd hit the Enter key. Now, a couple things that Word will do for you. It will capitalize the beginning of a sentence. Now, normally, if you're going to capitalize a word or a letter, for example, you're going to hold the Shift key and hit that letter. But let's just say I type the small letter here, like in the word now. As soon as I hit the space bar, it's going to give me a capital N. And that's because Microsoft Word will automatically capitalize the beginning of a sentence. What it sees as the beginning of a sentence is the fact that I started next to the margin. And also, if it sees a period and a space, the next word will automatically get a capital letter. So just remember that. When you're typing, if you get something underlined in red, it's a spelling error, and it really just means it's not the computer's dictionary. So sometimes your name may come up as being misspelled and it's really not. If you get some green underlined, that's a grammatical error. Also, sometimes you're going to see words that it will spell correctly for you. Let me finish typing this and I'll show you some of these. Now is the time. Notice I'm spelling time, T-I-M-M-E. As soon as I hit that space bar, did you see that it corrected the word for me? That's because it's part of a feature called autocorrect that we'll talk about a little bit later. It's got some words already in there that are commonly misspelled. Now is the time for all good men to come to the aid of their country. Now, I did a couple of things here that I wanted to point out. First of all, I misspelled this word good. Now, I left out an O there. Now, you would think that Grammar Check would pick that up, and it doesn't. You would also think that Spell Check might pick it up, but it doesn't, because Spell Check, this word is not misspelled. God is an actual word. So notice I'm going to click there and actually insert that extra O. So I'm going to manually change it. Here, notice I've got the blue underline. In older versions, the Grammar Check was green, and now it's blue. So just kind of know that. I put 2 spaces between men and to, so it considers it grammatically incorrect. Now notice that I can just right-click anywhere where that blue underline is, and what will happen is that if the word that I'm trying to spell is on the list, or if it sees the way I should be spelling this, it's going to go ahead and give me that as a suggestion, and I'm going to choose it with my left mouse button, and you can see that it fixed it for me. Now let me go ahead and fix another word where I'm going to misspell it. What if I take this word to and I just totally spell it wrong? Let's put a G there. Notice again, there's some underlining there. Again, in previous versions, it was red. You'll notice now that this one is blue. I can just right click on that word again, and it will give me a choice it thinks I'm trying to spell, and I can choose it with the left button. Now, sometimes the choice you want is not on the list, so just kind of know that, and that's when you'll have to manually make some of those changes. Now notice if I click at the end of the line now with my mouse and hit the enter key, that's going to take me down to the next line below. Now let's say that I was working on this document and I was not finished, but I realized I needed to create another new blank document right now. The way I would do that is I would go up to the File tab, I would choose the New option, and here's the same blank document or the templates, and I'll just choose blank document again. And now you can see I'm on document 2. The other one was document 1. Now how do you get back and forth? You can actually point your mouse to the bottom of your screen, and what's going to happen is you're going to see it pop up and show you all of the Word documents. And I don't want to go all the way down there because I'll actually show my task pane, but it would show you the 2 Word documents, and then you would be able to choose the one you like. If you decide that you don't want one of these documents, just go to the top right and you can use the X to close it out. Be very careful because if you only have one document open and you do that, you'll actually close all of Microsoft Word. What we're going to do now is I want to go ahead and move over into the second section where we're going to set up another blank document, and I'll show you how to work with non-printing characters and line spacing basics.